Thank you, everyone, for attending in person and online. I'm calling to order the annual meeting for 2022, Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. And go ahead.
We have a reading just to set the moment for us. This is by the Reverend Heather Janulis. From the power of our memory and history, with high hopes for the days that lie ahead, we gather to craft the destiny we share with one another. We gather with faith in the practice of democracy. We gather with hearts and minds open to the wisdom in every voice among us. In our gathering, may we dream and design a bold future. May we bring our best selves to this service, and may we dream these dreams and do this work with love.
Thank you. Libby, you're on.
No, is she? Are you sure? That doesn't seem right. Oh, it is first. Okay. All right.
I have the words here if you need them. Okay. Thank you. Sorry, we're very
We're moving along.
Yes. Everyone's got places to go.
All right. Welcome. Led by our shared Unitarian Universalist values, committed to the search for truth, meaning, and justice, and determined to create a community of trust, warmth, and joy, together with love, we covenant to support this congregation with our presence, gifts, and service, and to care for each other and the long-term well-being of our community, to listen deeply to one another in a spirit of openness, acceptance, and trust, to speak and act with forethought, honesty, and compassion, considering not only the intent, but also the impact of our words and behaviors, to speak directly, whenever safe, to those with whom we have disagreements, and to encourage others to do the same, seeking assistance from leadership as needed, to include all people with gratitude for the differences among us, celebrating the richness of varied perspectives, to attend intentionally to dynamics of oppression and prejudice in our interactions with each other and in our congregational system, to participate in congregational votes and decisions, engaging in thoughtful dissent and respecting our democratic processes, to ask for and to extend forgiveness to each other if we break these promises. This covenant is a living document to which we can refer in our interactions with each other, reminding ourselves of our shared promises. It invites ongoing learning and courageous acts of love and reconciliation.
Thank you, Libby, for the covenant. We now welcome Don for ascertainment of the quorum.
Good morning. So we've counted 30 members in the audience live and 28 online, so that does constitute more than a quorum.
Quorum's 45. Good job. So our quorum's 45, and we made it by plenty. So thank you all for your attendance. It's very important. This keeps going away. Sorry. What do we have next here? Sorry. Reading of the rules. And that's our friend Craig. You like rules, don't you?
All right. Don is going to act as the process observer. As such, he will always have the floor. If anyone is out of order, he will notify us. Remarks are limited to 2 minutes per piece. 1 comment or question per person until all are heard, unless called on by the chair. If you want to speak, please request it in the Zoom chat or raise your hand. When called upon, please unmute yourself and use the microphone to state your name before commenting. Everyone here in person must use a microphone so that those on Zoom can hear the question. Votes will be taken by voice unless a counted vote is requested. Any member may move for a counted vote. Moving on, this time, I'd like to request an approval of the 2021 minutes. The minutes from last year came out with the annual reports. Does anyone want the minutes read? All right. Make a motion that the congregation accept the minutes from June 2021 meeting. Is there a second? Second? All right. I move that the 2021 minutes be accepted as written. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks, Greg. This is you, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Okay. Yes, Tank was the right one, right? Okay. So we wanted to take a minute before we get into the other business. Lily, is it possible for you to turn your camera on? Okay, there's Lily. Second square down from the left. Lily has been with us for a few years now. First as a field ed student, and now as our tech person, and has preached a bunch for us, delightfully, and we've all appreciated it. And Lily just graduated from Union with her MDiv. So I wanted everyone a big round of applause for Lily. Lily, you have been such a blessing to our community in so many different ways, and we are so grateful for you. There is a gift here, which we will make sure to get to you somehow, along with another piece that is still coming. And also, for those of you who are present here in Anderson, there is a card that you can sign at the back when the meeting is over that we will also make sure that Lily gets. Yeah, we just have really appreciated you, and we love you very much, and we're very proud of you.
Thank you all. This is such a surprise. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations, Lily. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Never leave us, though. Not allowed. Okay, we're going to move into business. Our first item of business is approval of changes to the minister's letter of agreement. So you received a summary of the changes that we propose to make, along with the new letter of agreement and the original letter of agreement. What happened was that through the years since Sarah has signed her letter of agreement, it's been 5 years, the UUA and the UUMA have suggested changes. The primary change is around the length of sabbatical. Back in the day, sabbaticals were always 6 months, and the thinking now is that they should be 3 to 6 months and should be toward the shorter side. It's less disruptive to congregations and to ministers, and it gets people back in sync again when the sabbatical is over. So we are adopting a couple of changes. While we had the document open, we changed some language. We added the circles instead of committees, things like that. But I want to just go over what the substantive changes are. So substantive changes, and I would also like to point out that in a year when we were really not able, we're showing a 1% raise for Sarah this year. In a year, and what we heard at the town hall was that people would have liked to seen that be higher, and the board also would have liked to seen it be higher. One thing we can do is we can offer some of these things in the letter of agreement, which don't really cost us cash, but provide more flexibility to Sarah. And so we think it's especially important that we do this year because we want to offer her, the best of our ability to improve her situation. And so the 3 items is a change for parental leave. In the prior agreement, parental leave was 6 weeks paid, 6 weeks unpaid. And we're proposing to change that to 12 weeks paid, just to bring it into alignment with most organizations, corporate and nonprofit. The new letter of agreement would allow the minister to carry 2 weeks of unused vacation into the next year for a maximum of 6 weeks, but no more. So 2 weeks max. You can't build up 100 weeks or anything. Only 2 weeks. And of course, we all think Sarah should go on nice vacations too, so we don't want her to roll over the 2 weeks either, but I guess it's her choice. And finally, in regards to sabbaticals, we're just changing the language so that they can be taken. The current letter, let me just read it so I don't screw it up. The current letter allows for a 6-month sabbatical to be taken every 7th year of service. The new letter allows the sabbatical to be taken after 4 years for 3 months in length, but stipulates that it must be taken by the end of year 7. So in effect, it can be between 3 and 6 months of sabbatical. Please note that Sarah has now worked here for 5 years, and this coming year will be 6. And so in 2024, she'll be taking a 6-month sabbatical, which she has earned. But going forward from there, she will have the option of these shorter sabbaticals. I think that's all there is to say about that. So let me get back to my script, sorry. So I know we sent you a lot of information. I don't know if you all had time to review it, but we tried to give you the summary to sort of touch on the salient points. So I'm going to make a motion, and as you know, once the motion is seconded, then we can call for discussion. So don't worry. I move that the changes to the minister's letter of agreement be approved by the congregation, and I need a second. Any discussion? Now this is, we can put in the chat if you would like to say anything, or if you have something to discuss or ask, or you can raise your hands. And is someone keeping track of the online for me? Yeah, I have the chat up too, I'm not seeing it. Everyone looks good. Everyone online has the best looking snacks, can I tell you? They're all eating. I guess if I was home, I'd be eating too. Okay, so we have no discussion. I have to call for a vote. So I am calling for a vote to accept the proposed changes to the minister's letter of agreement. All in favor, say aye or raise your hand. And I'm going to ask for opposed just because we have these 2 different venues and it's just easier. All those opposed, say nay. Is everyone comfortable that we passed? I'm sorry, it's really hard for me to pay attention to the online screen while I'm talking. Yeah, online people, can you keep your hand up? All in favor? Raise your hand and say aye. We just want to make sure we're absolutely according to Hoyle here. Okay. Motion carries and the new agreement is accepted. Thank you very much. Now we will welcome our friend, Chris Dunnigan. And we will move on to the budget. So the next question is the proposed budget. Do you want to wait and see if there's discussion? Well, we have to do it according to the rules. We'd like to thank everyone for their pledges. We'd like to thank the pledge team. I have to do the motion first. I move that the 2022-2023, I have the wrong dates written in here, budget be accepted. Can I get a second? Second by, someone's keeping track of that, I hope. Any discussion? Questions or comments about the proposed budget? If you want to drop, if we're not seeing your hand online, you can drop your name in the chat. Yeah, some of you have your video off, and we can't see your hand or your video's off. We're not seeing any discussion. Frank Liskeller has his hand up. Go ahead, Frank, you can unmute yourself. Or you can type it in the chat. Oh, you just wanted to vote? Okay. It was almost easier when we were all online, frankly, because then we were all sitting in front of our computers, you know? Yeah, what, you never give Unitarians 1 minute to think it over. Now, we want to make sure, if anyone has something to say or a question to ask, we do want to make sure that we hear you.
He says no comment. She's good.
Okay,
Thank you, Frank, sorry.
so we have no request for discussion, and so I'll call the question. I propose that we accept the budget as presented for the 2022-23 fiscal year. All those in favor, say aye, and please raise your hand. I feel like you're all saying hi to me. Hi, hi, hi. And someone's counting for me, right? I think we're good. All those opposed, please raise your hand or say nay. Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much. Lovely. I know. Now we have nominating, and is there anyone from nominating who would like to present? Thank you, Bernie. I'm sorry, I did not reach out to nominating in a timely manner, but Bernie comes through.
So joining me on the nominating committee this year are Janice Lohr, co-chair, Mary Mogerly, Liz Kempe, and Ed Wardell. We met monthly beginning in the fall and concluded our work at the end of April. We're very pleased, proud to recommend to the congregation the following slate to the Board of Trustees for next year. Jack Lohr, president for a 2-year term. Mary Mogerly, vice president for a 2-year term. Kirsten Hughes, secretary for a 2-year term. And Hetty Hirschman, trustee for a 3-year term. If elected, they will join Chris Dunnigan, who will be in the final year of a second 2-year term. Don Campolo as trustee is in the final year of a 3-year term, and Craig Hertenstein, second year of a 3-year term. That will be the board for next year. We're also pleased to recommend to the board the following candidates for the nominating committee for next year. Libby Ortiz, first year. Margaret Summer, first year. Kathy Smolin, first year. Ed Wardell, second year. And Liz Kempe, second year as the chair. And that is the slate. Who called the motion? You guys,
Yeah, we'll do it. Thank you, Bernie. Are there additional nominations for president, vice president, secretary, or trustees, or for the nominating committee? No? I make a motion to accept the slate as presented by our nominating committee, and with great thanks to the nominating committee. I need a second? Any discussion? Jan Botcher, you need a microphone, please?
Jumping ahead to assuming we're going to vote yes on this, I'd like to thank this outgoing board for its service. Many of you signed up for this board with no anticipation of service during pandemic, and I'd like to thank the incoming board for agreeing to serve.
Thank you. Thank you, Jan. Any other discussion? I'm presenting, I propose that we accept the slate as presented by the nominating committee. All those in favor, say aye, and please raise your hand. Those opposed, please say nay and raise your hand. Okay. That is really the end of our business, and now we have a few fun things. We have some awards to give out. I have to find the right page. I was going to do it at the very end. Do you want to do it now? Doesn't the video cover? I don't have it on here, but I have it. a word from the president and then adjournment.
Okay,
Is that
great.
okay?
Okay.
Yes, Jack Lohr, who's your incoming president, could not be here, but he left us a video message that we'll play at the end. Okay, so we have a tradition of doing awards at the annual meeting, and we haven't done them in a couple of years. We did something called COVID Superstars in a prior year, but we wanted to get back to our awards, which are noted on the plaques. Oh, in fellowship, so that people's names are on the plaques. So there's 3 awards. The first award is the Newcomer Award, and since we haven't done this in a few years, we're kind of going to backdate ourselves a tiny bit, and we're going to award the Newcomer Award to Libby Ortiz. Yes. We know that, why don't you stand up, Libby, so people can see who you are. Yes, Libby. Yeah, but it didn't count against you. Libby is not so new. You can sit down, sir. But she has jumped into many, many activities, and I'm sorry, I would try and list them, but I probably get them all wrong. She does many things without being asked. She brings flowers for the service. She is involved in membership. You might see her on Sundays out in the front row, as she is now. She's always present at service, always actively listening and engaging with the music and words, and joyfully talking with others of all ages, including the children, and always checking in on others. She also comes to us with a positive attitude and a sense of optimism and a lack of criticism, which we always appreciate. Thank you, Libby, and we're going to put your name on there. We have a few people that we didn't do from past years, but we're getting it all up to date. We have an unsung hero, and I think that there's so many unsung heroes, and I'm sorry that you're unsung because we don't recognize you. But we're going to recognize one of you, and I always appreciate people who work without needing a lot of attention or a lot of thanks. And our unsung hero for this year is Deanne Kidwell. Deanne has been so helpful in keeping the kitchen running and keeping it spotlessly clean. She is responsible for coffee hour. Even if you don't see her, she comes on Saturday nights and turns the water partway up so that in the morning it takes less time to heat. And if you've ever done coffee hour and you're sweating bullets waiting for that water to get hot before 11 o'clock, you know how wonderful that is. She sends us a picture of what's in the fridge and tells us what someone should buy. She also cleans up after coffee hour so that we can leave. The people hosting coffee hour can just leave at the normal time. She has kept the kitchen functioning, including the very cranky dishwasher, which we have ordered a replacement for, but will be many months before it arrives. So Deanne is very much the dishwasher whisperer. And even before she was coming to in-person service, she was arriving at the end of service to perform tasks in the kitchen. Thank you for doing all this without fanfare, without being asked to be recognized, and with clear dedication and clarity about environmental issues. We appreciate you, Deanne. One more award is for Volunteer of the Year, and we would like to give Volunteer of the Year to Marilyn Maney, who is here, I think. You know, we always say that we rolled out the circles right as COVID hit, but also some people became circle facilitators right as COVID hit. And Marilyn Maney has run her circle. She runs the Green Circle, which is social justice and social outreach. She has run it, and it is as active now as it was before COVID, if not more so. She has been a facilitator, but not taken on all the work herself, which is what a facilitator is supposed to do. Excuse me. She has kept her group active on Realm when a lot of people were resistant to it. As a facilitator, she has empowered others instead of exhausting herself and dug right into the work of facilitator, pointing out and asking questions when the structure needed further development, but also just really embracing the new system and charting a course. Always a kind and measured attitude. She's diplomatic, thoughtful, and compassionate. And we really appreciate the energy and the spirit that she's brought to the Green Circle and to USR as a whole. So thank you, Marilyn. Okay, it's time for the president's report, but we're going so fast, we're going to make it short. So I've enjoyed the last 2 years serving as your president, and I've enjoyed working with Rev. Sarah. And we've had some dark times, and we've had some light times. COVID has made everything very interesting. So I have to just tell you, one day we were here, and this was really in the middle of COVID, and we were cleaning the coat closet, and there were some people helping, and somehow the coat closet had become a receptacle of just all manner of junk and trash and God knows what. There was lost and found from 18 years ago. I don't know. Someone's Sony Walkman was in the lost and found. And so we were really just, it was sort of therapeutic. We were throwing things away and we were cleaning it. We bought new hangers, and we were really hoping that people would be in person, but we really knew to hang their coats on these hangers, but we really knew it was still going to be a long time. And Sarah, I don't know, we can argue about whose idea this was, but I believe Sarah said to me, you know those weird pink tablecloths that are so old? What if we threw them away and didn't tell anybody? What if we didn't ask permission? It could have been me, I'm not saying. And I said, oh yes, yes, yes. So we actually recycled them. I think it was the lovely Jan Botcher who took them to fabric recycling. We found all of these old tablecloths, which were, I'm sure, very beautiful in their time. They were pink, they were like a damask. They had no color left in them hardly. Many of them were stained, and the pink damask look was maybe not so much the look of today. So my last act before I leave is going to be to buy new tablecloths, because we never got around to it. But in commemoration of our time together, I have this gift, small gift for Sarah. Go ahead and open it. I may have taken a page out of Scarlett O'Hara's book. It's okay, it won't hurt you. I have to thank the lovely and talented Inga Spungen, who made this for me.
God, that's amazing. Oh my goodness, is this a stole made from the tablecloth?
Isn't that cute? And Inga did such a beautiful job on it. So we'll always have our pink tablecloths with us wherever, and Sarah will take them with her.
That is delightful. Oh my goodness.
Thank you very much. And thank you all for your support and your feedback and your thanks for 2 years. I so appreciate
You're not allowed
it.
to go very far.
Okay.
So the board, here, you can, if you want, you can open this.
Oh my, oh my,
This is
quite
for Dawn.
large.
So, Dawn inherited the pandemic, basically. You stepped right in when we were already in the thick of things. Careful, because it is also breakable.
Okay.
Careful. And we have appreciated, there's a lit candle. Y'all, come on. There is live fire there. Did you just blow it out?
Yes. I didn't want to set the person on fire.
That's fair. We have appreciated your humor, your steadiness through all of the everything, and just knowing that you had a perspective, right, to let the serious things be serious, but not let the not serious things take over and make life impossible. So I have been very grateful for Dawn's leadership, as I'm sure we all have. Let's please thank Dawn. Now, Dawn, this is, you don't have to go all the way deep into it if you want. There might be a picture, but this is a cake plate, but it comes into two parts, and you can invert it and it becomes a punch bowl or a giant chalice. Your choice. If you would prefer something else, there's a gift receipt.
No, it's lovely.
But yes, thank you. We have appreciated you very much.
Thank you.
Lily has the video from, is that the next?
Yes, I think our last thing is a message, and then we'll adjourn. A message
Okay.
from Jack
Careful.
Lord, sorry.
Okay.
So, I guess if you're seeing this, that means I've been elected president for the Board of Trustees. Oh, the power!
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Seriously, I want to say thank you. Thank you to Reverend Sarah for inspiring leadership that made me want to get involved with USR. Thank you to Dawn Walter for holding us together during the incredibly disruptive COVID pandemic. And thank you to all of you, the members, for entrusting me with the responsibility to guide the board as we move forward in these exciting and challenging times, as we fully activate our circle process, and as we plan for the future. I can promise you that the board will function as partners with Reverend Sarah, the structures of USR, and with all of you in working to fulfill our mission. Growing in mind and spirit, we act together as a beacon for justice and love, transforming self and world. My touchstones will be transparency, inclusion, and love. I will keep you informed, listen to what you have to say, and as I've learned in these admittedly few years of being Unitarian Universalist with you, to care deeply about the legacy and future of the Unitarian Society of Ridgewood. I will bring all my energy, experience, and enthusiasm to the tasks of the board. Together, we will grow back stronger, strengthening the membership and material resources of the Society. Thanks again. See you soon.
Okay, that is all of our business, and I move to adjourn the annual meeting. And I need a second. Carolyn Musser, thank you for the second. Do we have to vote? I guess so. All those in favor of adjourning the meeting, say aye, raise your hand. Those opposed can say nay. And so our meeting is officially adjourned. Does someone have the time? I just know Helen is going to want to write the time. 11:40. Thank you very much. Thank you all for coming and participating. Appreciate it very much.
It's already extended.